And this is Post Office Key. And behind there you can see the Cambridge Quay, or also known as Little Bell Key mooring field. Prince Diamond's over, third boat from the left. This is part of the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park. And I've come over here to pay my fee. We'll see if there's some instructions or something. If there isn't instructions or a price list, I'm not doing anything, obviously. Yeah, leave payment here. Let's hope it has some information. Otherwise, I think a boat does come along. Okay. Well, that worked out quite well. The instructions were there. 20 bucks a night. You can't really beat it. I'll stay here for 2 nights. And then I'm going to see whether we can get in at Warderick Wells. That has a very interesting bit of history to it, which I'm not going to get into now, but you'll see later about Warderick Wells. We're going to go ashore there and take a look around. And now I'm just going to dinghy back to the boat and maybe just explore a bit of the far shore over there. One thing I find quite interesting when I've been looking at the shores on the various islands here, you see these trees here that I'm just going by. Well, when you're looking at them from a distance, they look like you could walk underneath them. Just my sense of perspective is way off. They look like they're tall enough to walk underneath. And it looked quite inviting, and I think, oh, I'm going to walk over there and take a walk through a nice forest. I haven't had a chance to walk through a forest since I left Canada. But when you get closer, you realize that you'd have to be on your hands and knees to get underneath these trees. So it wouldn't be much of a stroll. It's just funny, this is not the first impression I've had of this. It's other places. Clarencetown was a very good example of that. Across the bay there was this forest on the shore like that, and I thought, wow, I'm going to go over there and take a walk through that forest. And when I got there, it was like these trees, which are, you know, they start their bushy tops at about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. Anyway. And there you see my dinghy on the left. This is Warderick Wells. This is the heart of the Exuma Park. And this body of water you see out here was a place where pirates in the old days used to hide out, waiting for ships to pass by on the other side of that far island there. And then they'd slip out and try to capture them. And so there is Prince Diamond at anchor, or at a mooring ball I should say. These are the first mooring balls I've taken in a long time. But at $20 a night it's a pretty good investment, and we've got some bad weather coming. Last night was very windy, and it's going to be very windy again tonight and tomorrow. So we'll hang around here on Warderick Wells until Tuesday, when we continue farther north. But for the time being, we're going to come and check out some of the areas around here. There's a place called Pirates Retreat that is our first stop on the agenda. And then, see, we're right here. Pirates Retreat is somewhere up in this area here, although it doesn't appear to be marked. But we're going to make our way up to the to this area up here where the park rangers are located, although that's closed or will be closed very soon. Today, it's being Sunday, but we're going to go up on that way, maybe check out Boo Boo Hill and the blowholes. We'll see what there is up there. But first of all, let's go check out Pirates Retreat. Follow the trail of conch shells. It says this was once a pirate's lair. The anchorage was hidden from view, and water found in the natural well was fresh and sweet. When the pirates came ashore to camp by the well, they brought their sleeping mats and other possessions. Stuck to these items were seeds from distant places. Some of the seeds grew, leaving a small collection of plants not native to the Bahamas. Unknown to the pirates, the sweet water collects under the island as a freshwater lens. The well is a natural sinkhole refreshed by rain that percolates down through the limestone. The freshwater lens is easily polluted or destroyed. And I know that some of the grasses and some of the other types of palms that they have here, I don't know if this is true for these particular palms, but they are not native to this area. The seeds being brought in with those pirates' sleeping mats. And they used to wait here until their lookout announced that there was a ship coming, and then they could dart off and do their dastardly stuff. But that's the truth, that there were pirates that were here. I mean, it's well known. And just a few steps farther on, here's one of those natural wells. It's one of the reasons why the island became known as Warderick Wells. The Wells part having stuck, even though the Warderick part has been corrupted over the years, some earlier versions. There are these sinkholes everywhere. There's another one over there. Oh, you wouldn't want to be stumbling through here in the dark. Some of these go right down, some of them as much as 10 feet. It'd be quite a fall. Anyway, we're heading over here, hopefully still on a path to the windward side of the island. Oh yeah, there's the sign. Okay. We're trying to work our way north, and there was no maps that I could take, but it appears that the trail to get to the north, although I have heard that it does exist, you have to sort of beach hop up this side of the island. This is the windward side. Well, it's the windward side today. Wild Billy North. Okay, that's where we came from. See, not a very sunny day, and it's going to be quite windy later on. My God, look at the depth of this one. It must go down, it goes down about 30 feet. I'm not at all sure I'm on the trail here. And well, I'm still working my way in the proper direction. And this one on the Cockle Trail is actually goes down about 15 feet, and then there's water below that. There's a pool that's got to be, well, I can see down at least 20 feet just before it gets too dark. Unbelievable. I mean, if you fell in there, I don't know how you'd ever get out. It would be a miracle. The rock is so smooth down there from erosion. It gives me the creeps, actually, to be honest with you. Now, these trails are not very well marked. I'm just going to have to keep going in the general direction. So far, I've been doing all right. And there's my girl at the mooring ball, where it could have been waiting for a passing ship out there to dash out and grab the ships that are going through the wide opening, which is a pass out into the sound. DC-3, you don't see too many of those anymore. It's like the old drug running days in the Bahamas. Actually, that's one of the keys that we're going to be coming up to. Norman's Key, used by that fellow lair as a drop-off transshipment point for drugs going into Florida. And the DEA and FBI had it staked out with cameras and everything, and undercover people pretending to be broken down sailors coming into his key for shelter and stuff like that. And eventually he went down like all of them do. But a very interesting place nonetheless, with a couple of sunken airplanes off the coastlines of that island. One of them, apparently, I guess they knew that a guy had dropped a bunch of drugs into the water, and then when made a tight turn a little too close to the water surface, and the wingtip hit the water, and he went in. These planes can be dived on. Now, one of the more picturesque and inviting bits of the trail, even though it's still pretty rough. And I don't know, if we're lucky it goes down there where it looks very nice. And that's looking more northerly, up toward the main office, which is in the far distance. That rock there is Emerald Rock, and that'd be Emerald Rock anchoring field. It's the least protected under these wind conditions for boats, so there are still many mooring balls available there. There's a park headquarters where we're heading for, and the northern mooring field, you make out some of the boat masts up there. The northern is the most popular. That's the one where everybody wants to be at. There were no vacancies at all there today. No vacancies at all at mine either, but of course we've only got 5 mooring balls in mine, and I was the last person to come in, and I'm not leaving until Tuesday. I don't think anybody else is leaving until Tuesday either. The weather's just so bad. It's going to be anyway. Right now the wind is still fairly light, about 10 knots or so, but we have 15 to 25 and perhaps up to 30 later on, so we're waiting for that to come. It was a good day for me to come for a walk, and I've got my foul weather gear, at least the jacket, with me as well, so I'm prepared for anything. And it's rather nice today. It's not terribly cold. I've got long pants on though, and a long shirt. And now to find the path. Oh, it looks like it goes this way. You can't see the path until you're right up to it, I found. I keep thinking I've made a wrong turn, I'm on a dead end, and then I go 2 more steps, and they're 6 feet ahead of me. The path curves off to the side. It's not really well marked. The island is supposed to be haunted, eh? Although some people say that was just because in the old days some fishermen who wanted to keep this area for themselves spread the story that it was haunted. But there actually have been some strange things here. A skeleton was found on the down at the southwestern end of the island in 1989, and some cruisers, 3 boats of cruisers who found him, reported it, and the dentist in the group took the skull with him to Georgetown when they reported it. And by the time everything got taken care of and they figured out who it was and etc., the body had already been buried without the head. So maybe there's a headless ghost wandering around here looking for the rest of them. I don't know. Another fellow was saying, another fisherman in the area was saying that they had also found a skeleton on the island, and after that, in the place where they were staying, every day there would be fresh footprints walking down from the bush into the water and out again, but they never saw anybody, and as far as I know there was nobody else on the island, but those fresh footprints kept appearing every day while they were there, and that guy will no longer visit the island at all. You hear back there when I stepped on that rock and it moved. It's interesting that some of these rocks which are broken away from the rock underneath them, they move when you step on them. They sound just like cast iron, you know, like a manhole lid. And here just north of Barrels Beach, that lovely little beach you just saw, is the remains of an old stone wall, what they in the Bahamas call margins. This was left by the last guy who lived here on the island. His name was Davis, and he had a plantation here. And sometime in the 1920s, I guess, he stopped paying his taxes and the land was repossessed. Well, we're getting closer to some ruins of the Davis plantation. I don't know what the heck this was. Got it leaning up against a tree. Its bark with evenly made holes through it. So I don't know what that could have been. Anyway, it does look man-made. This is the Ruins Trail, or also known as the Davis Plantation Trail. Something big just ran into the bushes right there. There it is there. Just as I started talking, it moved again. I saw something that looked like fur. I wasn't really sure if it was fur, but when I started talking, it moved. Yeah, it moved some more there. I don't know what that was. What that is. Could have been something like a big rat. Anyway, I would say that it had kind of a rat's looking tail, but hindquarters that were about 6 to 8 inches wide across the hips. That's all I saw. I don't know what mammals they have here on this island. Yeah, and this is the ruins of the plantation. Not much here, as you can see. Something there scratched in the rock. It's really hard to make out what that is, but it almost looks like the bow of a ship here and the stern. And this could be a mast or something, but then there's lines up here also. Oh, that could be another ship. Bowsprit. I don't know. And this is a poisonwood tree. It's kind of like poison ivy. And there's another tree on the island here that they call the tourist tree, because it actually looks like, well, the bark when it comes off the mature tree looks like the skin of a sunburned tourist. And it apparently is good as an antidote for the poisonwood tree. And they also use it for making poultice for bee stings and wasp stings and such. And near the northern end of my walk here, I've come across this on a trail known as the Hutia Hill. And what do you think, eh? Definitely have to check this out. Murphy's Hideaway, it says on the tree. Well, it made me a little nervous going down that thing because it's not that thick, and it was bending alarmingly. But anyway, I'm down here, and it's wow, that goes back. Okay, yeah, goes back about another 10 feet. Okay, curious. Yeah, you can see why these islands are good for caves. The rock is so rotten. Anyway, time to see if I get out. And this trail is leading down there to the causeway. So they call this a causeway trail. Getting closer to the park headquarters, and there's a northern mooring field. The mooring field is actually located on a kind of a spiraling in deeper channel among the shallow banks out there. I guess we're not going to get a chance to be over there unless I relocate there on Tuesday. Yes, this is a sperm whale skeleton found here July 1995. 52-foot sperm whale. It had died because of plastic garbage in the water. I'm here at the headquarters building. It's Sunday, so it's closed. But I just came to see how it looks. They have internet here apparently, so I'll come back or stop off here before I go farther to get a good weather report. I don't know what it was. Same thing as before. Well, I don't know what it is. Well, today is March 4th, and I'm back in the park headquarters area. It's just over there. And I'm taking a little walk on the Boo Boo Hill trail. And this goes away from the beach just behind the park ranger station headquarters building, and it climbs up to Boo Boo Hill, where cruisers leave driftwood mementos of their being here. I haven't got anything myself set up for that at the present moment. Probably won't, but anyway, it's a sad day for me because Mona sent me an email this morning that you know, she did the flip-flop again as far as whether she's going to go sailing, and I think this time I have to accept that she just doesn't want to sail. She can't see the future, how it's going to be for her after this present time when she's working and feeling fulfilled by that. She just can't she can't picture it, and has put me off again after saying that she was going to retire when Robin came back home from her trip to Europe, which she's going to do with Stephen very soon. Now she's talking about taking on some responsibility through her job that'll require her to be around for about 4 more years. So I think I have to understand that she's not capable of looking beyond the period, the immediate period, and seeing a long-term thing. I'm going to have to find somebody else to be a substitute first mate for me, and whatever else that may happen to me. I don't know. Anyway, it's a sad day for me. But life goes on, and I'm going to continue. The cold front's just gone through recently, and today I've got a sweater on and a jacket. Not all of them absolutely necessary, but and here at the top of Boo Boo Hill is the park-sanctioned driftwood display, which has been personalized with the names of the various boats that have visited here. They only accept driftwood. Anything else is removed. And this is a view from up here, Boo Boo Hill. You can see the northern mooring field and how well spread out the boats are. This natural channel curls around like an apostrophe. And the park rangers' headquarters building and their personal building over there, their dormitory. And looking down the length of Warderick Wells Island and out into Exuma Sound. There's only one last thing to look at here on the island, and that is the blowholes that are just to the north of us. It doesn't look really like there's much happening there. A little bit. That's it. And these are the famous blowholes right here. They don't appear to be doing too much today, as the wind for these things is unusually from the wrong direction. Anyway, those holes go way down. You can't see very much farther, but they'll go down to the ocean level. And when the strong waves come in on the wind, they will blow up spume from here. There's other holes here too. Yeah, you can see that they go down quite a distance, but nothing much is happening today. There's some action over the edge here. I'll show you. But there's no real blowhole action happening.